word and decide the facts. Some of you have probably heard the term circumstantial evidence and direct evidence. These are the two basic types of evidence that exist in law. Direct evidence is direct proof of a fact, such as the testimony of an eyewitness. Circumstantial evidence is proof of facts from which you may infer or conclude that other facts exist. I will give you further instructions on these as well as other matters at the end of the case. Keep in mind that you may consider both kinds of evidence, which are considered to be of equal value in the law. The court will not provide you with a transcript of the testimony at the end of the trial. Therefore, you must listen very carefully to the testimony. Each of you will be allowed to take notes during the trial for your own use during your deliberations. You are not required to take notes. Independent memory can be as accurate as written notes. During the course of the trial, you should not talk with any witness, defendant, or an attorney involved in this case. Please do not talk with them about any subject matter whatsoever. You may see them in the hallway, on an elevator, or at some other location. If you do, perhaps the best standing rule is to not say anything. You also should not discuss this case among yourselves until I instruct you on the law and you start deliberating at the end of the case. It is important that you wait until all the evidence is received and you have heard all of my instructions on the rules of law before you deliberate among yourselves. During the course of the trial, you will receive all of the evidence you may properly consider to decide the case. Because of this, you should not attempt to do any research on your own or gather any information on your own that you think might be helpful. I do not know if there will be any media reports in the newspaper, on television, on the radio about this case. You are not permitted to read, watch, or listen to any reports. You as jurors must base your decision solely on the evidence you hear in the courtroom. At times during the trial, an attorney may make an objection to a question that is asked by another attorney or to an answer that a witness may give. This simply means that the attorney is requesting that I make a decision on a particular rule of law. Do not draw any conclusions from the fact that an objection was made or from my ruling on that objection. My rulings only relate to the legal questions that I must determine and should not influence your thinking. If I sustain an objection to a question, the witness will not be permitted to answer the question. Do not attempt to guess what the answer might have been had the witness been permitted to give it. Similarly, if I tell you not to consider a particular response that was made or statement that was made, you should put that statement out of your mind and you may not refer to that statement in your later deliberations. You may not ask questions. It is the responsibility of the attorneys to present the evidence. You must decide the case on the evidence presented to you. Finally, during the course of the trial, I may have to interrupt the proceedings to confer with the attorneys about the rules of law that should apply. In some cases, we may have bench conferences in the courtroom outside of your hearing. And in some instances, I may ask you to retire to the jury room while we discuss a matter out of your presence. I will try to avoid as many of these interruptions as possible. We will try to resolve some of these things in the morning before we get started. I ask your patience because these interruptions are necessary points in the trial where we have to resolve legal issues. In the long run, they save time for us all. If after your deliberations, you find the defendant guilty of any offense, the court will set the punishment at a separate sentencing hearing. The jury will not be involved in setting the punishment. This completes my opening comments to you. We will now proceed with the reading of the indictment.
Indictment 22-04769, State of Tennessee versus Justin Johnson. It's an indictment in 3 counts. count 1 is conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Count 2 is murder first degree. And count 3 is convicted felon in possession of a firearm. This is count 1 of the indictment. State of Tennessee Criminal Court, Shelby County, September term of 2022, count 1. The grand jurors of the state of Tennessee duly selected, impaneled, sworn, and charged to inquire for the body of the county of Shelby, Tennessee, upon their oath present that Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, Cornelius Smith, Hernandez Govan, and Jermarcus Johnson, between June the 1st of 2021 and March the 1st of 2022, in Shelby County, Tennessee, and before the finding of this indictment, did unlawfully, intentionally, with premeditation, and with the intent to commit the offense of first-degree murder, as classified in Tennessee Code Annotated 39-13-202, against the person of Adolph Thornton Jr., enter into an agreement with each other to commit the said offense. The said Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, Cornelius Smith, Hernandez Govan, and Jermarcus Johnson, acting for the purpose of promoting or facilitating the commission of the said offense, and agreeing that one or more of them would engage in conduct which constitutes the said offense. In furtherance of said conspiracy, one or more of the parties to the conspiracy committed an overt act, to wit, Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, traveled to 2370 Airways Boulevard and killed Adolph Thornton Jr. Cornelius Smith traveled to 2370 Airways Boulevard and killed Adolph Thornton Jr. Hernandez Govan solicited both Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, and Cornelius Smith to kill Adolph Thornton Jr. Jermarcus Johnson aided in Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop's, hideout and escape after the killing of Adolph Thornton Jr. Aided communication between Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, and Cornelius Smith after the killing of Adolph Thornton Jr. and facilitated payments to Cornelius Smith for the killing of Adolph Thornton Jr. All of which is in violation of Tennessee Code Annotated 39-12-103 against the peace and dignity of the state of Tennessee, signed by the District Attorney General for the 30th Judicial District. Count 2, State of Tennessee, Criminal Court of Shelby County, September term 2022. The grand jurors of the state of Tennessee, duly selected, impaneled, sworn, and charged to inquire for the body of the county of Shelby, Tennessee, upon their oath present that Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, Cornelius Smith, Hernandez Govan, on November 17, 2021, in Shelby County, Tennessee, and before the finding of this indictment, did unlawfully, intentionally, and with premeditation kill Adolph Thornton Jr. in violation of Tennessee Code Annotated 39-13-202 against the peace and dignity of the state of Tennessee, again signed by the District Attorney General for the 30th Judicial District. Count 3, State of Tennessee, Criminal Court of Shelby County, September term 2022. The grand jurors of the state of Tennessee duly selected, impaneled, sworn, and charged to inquire for the body of the county of Shelby, Tennessee, upon their oath presented Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, on November 17, 2021, in Shelby County, Tennessee, and before the finding of this indictment, did unlawfully and knowingly possess a firearm, having been convicted of a felony offense that qualifies under Tennessee Code Annotated 39-17-1307B1A on May the 2nd, 2017, in the Division 8 of the Criminal Court of Shelby County, Tennessee, under docket number W17-00355, in violation of Tennessee Code Annotated 39-17-1307 against the peace and dignity of the state of Tennessee. Going in reverse order, that third count was convicted felon in possession of a firearm. That second count was murder in the first degree. And that first count, long one, was conspiracy to commit murder in the first degree. It's signed by the foreperson of the grand jury, a true bill having been returned on November the 10th of 2022.
Mr. Justin Johnson having been pleaded.
Not here. Mr. Johnson, please not guilty.
Thank you.
And welcome to Memphis. Two things first. Told you last week, there's going to be cameras, there's going to be TV cameras. You hear them clicking, you know, right now. When you stood up to take the oath, you probably heard them clicking too. But like we told you last week, and what the judge has instructed each and every one of them, is they cannot film y'all at all. When those cameras were clicking when you stood up to take the oath, they were taking pictures of the judge. As I'm talking to you now, they're taking pictures of me, but not y'all at all. Not at all. Second thing, like I told you last week, we don't have the big windows looking out into the city. We don't have the fancy wood benches in the back. Our room is a third of the size of what we were in last week. That wood behind you is probably not even wood. We got a lot of carpet. We got a lot of carpet. But in Memphis talk, we still call this a courtroom. And in this courtroom, the words we talked about last week, presumption of innocence, elements, cases, charges, criminal responsibility, they're not just words. They're the law, and we take an oath to take them seriously and to follow, even without the fancy wood benches or the big windows. We call this a courtroom. And in here, our job is to apply the law to the facts and to do what's right. Welcome to Memphis. Welcome to Memphis, November the 17th of 2021, in the middle of the afternoon, just after noon, about 12:20, 12:21, 2, 3, 4, in the afternoon. Sorry. You can stop there. Can everybody see it?
Yes, sir.
This is Memphis, Tennessee. This neighborhood is close to the airport. It's called Orange Mound. It is a historic neighborhood in Memphis. One of the first predominantly black neighborhoods that had so much history, so much art and culture, and of such, significance, that it used to be compared to Harlem in New York City. There was a time when it was particularly vibrant, at a theater, arts. It's an important neighborhood in Memphis. It is less than 15 minutes from this building. Like I said, it's by the airport. In the 80s and 90s, it became riddled with crime, with drugs, with poverty, with gangs. It is trying hard nowadays to make a resurgence, to go back to what it was. There are families that have lived there for decades, generations. There are businesses and other things that have been there for decades. What we're looking at here is one of those Memphis businesses, a family business. This is the storefront of Makita's Cookies. This is the front of the store. This is its parking lot in front of it. Makita's Cookies. They sell butter cookies, basically. Some have icing on them. This is simple butter cookie. People say they're real good. In Memphis, they say they're fire. So we got a cookie store that sells fire butter cookies in the middle of the day at 12:21 in the afternoon.
Mr. Hager, you're standing in front of
Thank you. You can stop it here first. All right, so in 2021, people thought that was like a Lamborghini or something, because they hadn't seen the new Corvettes yet, really. They weren't around. That is, in fact, one of those new Corvettes. It has a special wrap on it, is what they call that. It's not something you can buy, from the dealership. You have to get that done yourself. Well, here, that's a special wrap that the Memphis rapper artist, Young Dolph, had on several of his vehicles. There's a couple times in this video we'll just have to wait, but it's a matter of seconds, and it's the last seconds of his life, so we can wait for him. He'll stop there first. All right. This taller man here in the yellow shirt, blue jeans, white shoes. His name is Adolph Thornton Jr. You've heard me read it a couple times now. He grew up in Memphis. The neighborhood he grew up in was Castalia, not terribly far from this, also a neighborhood in South Memphis. You'll see a member of his family testify this week. She'll tell you a little bit about his background and his family. I'll tell you a little bit about him right now, though. He is an ambitious young man who is a rapper, Memphis rapper, who rapped about the things that he saw growing up and that he sees in his neighborhood in Memphis. Some of that is drugs, some of that is violence, some of that is crime, some of that is gangs. Whether or not we agree or disagree as to whether or not that subject matter, for things we should be listening to or not, I can assure you it's real. He rapped about stuff that is real. He rapped about stuff that was real. And one of the things that meant everything to him in terms of what is real is he wanted to make it for himself. He wanted to make it for himself. He wasn't interested. He wasn't interested in joining others. It was all about making it himself. He felt like when he grew up, he called it his come up. That's what he called it, his come up. That it was rough and hard, but it was important that he got through it himself and he wanted to make it for himself. And he made it for himself as a rapper, as an artist. Young Dolph became famous, shortened to Dolph. Very famous. Wanted to make it by himself, wanted to be self-made, but it wasn't just about him. Because he also wanted a record label. He wanted to promote other artists. He wanted to make them famous. And so he started not just his own rap career, but a record label that's called Paper Route Empire. Paper Route. Like a young man or woman would have to make money on the side throwing papers. But also a play on the word paper. Because in Memphis, slang for money is paper. It's sometimes abbreviated PRE, Paper Route Empire. And that is Dolph and the rappers that he promoted. Trying to make it on your own is obviously hard. In this game, trying to make it on your own can create enemies. PRE, Paper Route Empire, his label, is not the only label in Memphis. He's not the only famous rapper in Memphis. Another label, CMG, Cocaine Music Group. And they became an enemy. They wanted Dolph under their label, but he turned down millions. I want to do it myself. The second time, they wanted Dolph under their label, but he turned down many millions. I want to do it myself. And in this game, whether it's smart or not, there are things called, just in Memphis, we call them diss tracks, DISS. A rap where I may insult, level whatever sort of insults and everything else I want to in the song itself. And Dolph had plenty of those. And he had plenty of those directed at this other label, the Cocaine Music Group, at their artist, and at their number 2 person. His name is Big Joe, the number 2 person of Cocaine Music Group. Through the years, and I'm talking years before what we're going to watch, having nothing to do with Mr. Johnson on trial, there are highly publicized incidents of violence directed by CMG against Dolph. He even wrote songs about it. Bulletproof, 100 rounds. And he also spewed out the the disses, and the insults. Stop it there. This man here got out of the car with Dolph. That's his brother. His name's Marcus Thornton. His brother, his friend. This thing that we're about to watch has had a terrible impact on Marcus. Not just his brother and his friend, but he also works security for them. In fact, as Marcus walks in his cookie store, he has a gun on this person, and he has another gun in the car. Dolph is well aware of the threats and the violence from CMG that were constantly hanging over him and his people. We'll wait 30 seconds. Stop it there. That car that just drove up came from this side of the parking lot. It had actually been following Dolph on the street. When Dolph turned it in, it went up to this light where it got stopped for a few seconds and then came around. It's a white Mercedes. There's other pictures where you'll be able to see it more clearly. But it's a white Mercedes with back end damage back here on the back passenger side of the car. It's a stolen car. It's a stolen car that our defendant here, Justin Johnson, traded for one car for another at a gas station about 10 hours before this murder happened. This man got out of the passenger side of the white Mercedes. Door's still open. We saw him run to the parking lot. He's here with a large semi-automatic weapon. He's in a hoodie. He's got sweatpants, and he's got white shoes. We'll see a second man come out of the car too. Those two men that we're going to see come out of the car, they're going to gun Dolph down. He's inside the business. He has walked over to sort of where the bathrooms are in the business. He's as close as I am to y'all. There's the window, and he's getting shot through the window. Both of these men will shoot. This one in particular, it looks like he's never shot this type of gun before. It's because he probably hadn't. The second man out of the car who's driving is our defendant, Justin Johnson. Neither one of these men are professional hitmen. If it looks like they don't take tactical shooting stances, it's because they don't. Let's watch Mr. Johnson get out of the car. You can stop it here. This is Dolph here. Remember, he was wearing the yellow. This is Marcus. Remember, I told you he had a gun. He tries to return fire as these two men quickly shoot Dolph. Dolph's body's riddled with bullets. He shot all in the back, in the face, in the neck, in his arms. The first man out was Cornelius Smith, and he has that semi-automatic weapon, shooting wildly into Dolph. The second man out was Justin Johnson, who has a handgun. He's firing at Dolph as he lays on the ground. Marcus Thornton starts firing back once he hears the shots. Now we see him emerge from the building. Can't tell in the video, but Marcus actually hits Cornelius in the shoulder, shooting back. I want to spend some time with two things. It's Mercedes. These two people, Justin and Cornelius, they didn't fall out of the sky on a Wednesday at 12:20 in the afternoon at a cookie store. They had been looking. They had followed them. And for them, this is just business. This was just business. They don't even know each other that well. Let's start with Cornelius. Cornelius is from this neighborhood, Orange Mound. He's in his early 30s now. Cornelius has had serious drug problem. He does ecstasy and Percocet. He gets his drugs over on Bradley Street, just over 2 miles from the scene, from a man whose name you have heard, Hernandez Gobe. They don't call him that, though. They call him Quet. His middle name is Marquette, and it's shortened to Quet. So Cornelius gets his drugs from Quet. Quet is what in Memphis we call an old head, older guy, lives in the neighborhood, lifelong criminal, in and out of jail through the years. Quet sells drugs. Quet gambles on sports like crazy, online sports stuff. And then Quet tries to identify young rappers and tries to shop them to CMG, hoping to get a cut, hoping to hit it big. Years ago, he and his brother missed out on one of those big rappers. But Quet knew a young rapper who he was in the process of shopping to CMG. And that young rapper is Justin Johnson, who goes by Straight Drop. Sometimes I just call him Drop. So Quet's the common person. He knows Cornelius from the neighborhood, knows him well, sells him drugs. He knows Justin Johnson. He's trying to get him to be the next CMG rapper. But not just that. The business is not just rap. Because Big Chook, person I told you about before, that number 2 guy at CMG, he's put out a hit. A hit. $100,000 to whoever kills Dolph. He has met with Justin. He has met with Cornelius. And they think They're ready to do it. They're definitely willing to do it. For Cornelius, it would be 50 grand, I guess, that he could waste away on Percocets and ecstasy. For Justin, it's 50 grand, but also a chance to make it big with CMG. To become the next famous Memphis rapper. The straight drop. They were sent here. They were sent here. But not professional hitmen. Not even monsters. I'm not going to call anybody a monster. This is just business for these two. Money for Cornelius, money and rap fame for Justin Johnson. They did the best they could, really. Stolen car. Better to use a stolen car that can't be traced back to me. When we still shot the video, you'll see that they're wearing gloves. Afterwards, the guns get disappeared. The car gets ditched in a neighborhood and wiped down and moved and wiped down and moved. Their plan is to go their separate ways and just disappear into Memphis. They did the best they could. I guess it could have gotten away with it. You get the guns gone, you get the car wiped down, get the car hidden for long enough. You're wearing masks, you're wearing hoodies, you're wearing gloves. Do it so quick, but it takes seconds. You get in, you get out, you get separate, you get disappear, and I guess you get away with it. There's a problem there, though. There's a problem there. Still staring at us. One of the big problems. It's not 1981. It's not 1991. It's not even 2001 when I started this building. It's 2021. It's 2021. And what I started talking to you about when I first stood up, what you didn't think about, what we don't think about almost ever anymore. These places have cameras. Places have cameras. It's the hotel lobby. It's walking into the building. It's this courtroom now. A lot of places that have cameras. And also what we don't think about, we didn't have to in 1981 or 91, whatever, is we carry phones around. Phones that can give people clues as to where we were, what was going on. We can wipe down cars. We can use stolen cars. We can get rid of guns. We can disappear in the neighborhoods. We can separate from each other. But it's 2021. And I guess I didn't think about that. We back up the video about 3 or 4 seconds. All right, I think it's up there. All right, so what we saw before was this man first. Remember the one with the automatic weapon, the larger of the two weapons? He got out of the car first from the passenger side. He ran around and shot the gun wildly into Dolph. We're concerned in this trial. Now, Mr. Smith is charged with murder too. So is Mr. Govan. And we've heard that Jamarcus is charged with conspiracy, but in this trial, this is Justin Johnson's trial. This is Justin Johnson. He is wearing tennis shoes that have white soles. See this one better in this shot. White soles, they're black with a little white stripe. There are times in the video where you can see his socks, and they're white socks. He's wearing gray sweatpants. In fact, there's angles of the video that you can see that this gray sweatpant on this left leg has a little silver-like emblem on it, real small, it's shiny sometimes. He's wearing gloves. See it maybe better there. He's wearing a black hoodie. He's wearing a mask, and he's wearing a Bass Pro hat. All right, so black tennis shoes, the white sole, white stripe up the middle of the tennis shoes, white socks, gray sweatpants. There is a little emblem that you can see in some angles on the leg. Black hoodie. Here during the shooting, he's wearing a mask, and he's got a Bass Pro hat. Bass Pro store is only, not even a quarter of a mile from where we're sitting, right here. There's other angles and other still shots where you can clearly see it's a Bass Pro hat. And there's other angles where you can see the little emblem that he has on his sweatpants. Color video here. There's a building in Memphis. This happens in the historic neighborhood itself, Orange Mountain. But there's a building in Memphis. It's a historic building. There's only like 10 or 12 of these buildings in the whole United States. They used to be, back 7 years ago, Sears buildings. Okay? Huge. Largest square foot building in Memphis for many, many years. At the time, Sears was sort of like Amazon before Amazon existed. Because these big warehouse buildings there, you come and place your orders, and they say, it was quite sort of an amazing thing. The need for those buildings went away. In Memphis, the building was abandoned for decades. They have pictures of it, abandoned. And it's crazy because it is the largest square foot building in Memphis. And it was abandoned. In other cities, there were 10 or 12 of these things. Some were abandoned, some were actually even torn down. But a few were repurposed. And in Memphis, over the last 15 years, ours was repurposed and renovated and redone. Amazing building now. It has high school in it. It has restaurants in it. It has businesses in it. Has a YMCA in it. Has a brewery in it. Has all sorts of things in it. Also has apartments in it. Has 4 floors of apartments. So when you live here, it is a nice place to live. You live sort of like in a shopping mall with restaurants and everything else right there. Okay. Justin Johnson, 2021, has a mother and a sister that have apartments in that building. The building is 12 stories high. Huge footprint. November 17th, 2021. This is less than an hour before the killing. This is Justin Johnson in the elevator, leaving the building about an hour, really less than an hour, before the killing. Black tennis shoes, white soles, white stripe up the middle, gray sweatpants, black hoodie, Bass Pro hat. In fact, you'll see picture after picture and video after video. It's the same outfit he was wearing the night before. We'll see him in this outfit from 2 o'clock in the morning, same day, all the way up to leaving the building right before the killing. The exact same outfit as that man in the video. A guess as to what kind of car he got caught leaving in at the parking garage of this building. A white Mercedes with back end damage, just like the one we see in the video, less than an hour before. You can get rid of guns. You can wipe down cars. You can disappear in neighborhoods. But it's not 1981. It's 2021. And from 2 o'clock that morning to 12:23 the same day, he is caught again and again. And it's not just before the murder. Cornelius got shot. Can't tell the video. He got shot in the shoulder. He needs medical attention, or at least somebody look at it. You'll see the text messages. You'll see the phone location type stuff. You'll see that Mr. Johnson and Mr. Smith, after they ditched the car in the neighborhood, they have another car waiting. That they go over to Mr. Johnson's cousin's apartment. An apartment complex that used to be called the Two-Lane Apartments here. Now it's called the Gospel Gardens Apartments. We're talking within 45 minutes of the killing. So we have the killing. Cornelius gets shot, ditch the car, get in Johnson's other car. And we go to Johnson's cousin's apartment, 2 lanes. So they can try to bandage up Cornelius. So Johnson can change his clothes. So they can try to get away and disappear. How do we know that? Well, their phones, but not just their phones, because again, it's not 1981. That apartment complex has video. You see them arrive in Johnson's other car, which is a white Expedition. You see them from distance walking into the apartment complex. You see Johnson's cousin directing them where to go. You see at this point Cornelius has his shirt pulled up weirdly because he's been shot in the shoulder. You see Johnson wearing the same clothes. The gray sweatpants, the black shoes, the black hoodie, the Bass Pro hat. You see him go inside the apartment. At some point you see Johnson come out. Someone else has brought him a change of clothes. You see Johnson get inside that car, inside the back seat of his friend's car, and change his clothes. No longer in the murder outfit. and you see them leave. To disappear almost. Because later that night, we see Johnson back at that big building called Crosstown. He's in his new clothes that his friend brought him at the apartment complex. And he goes to his apartment and he packs up, and you'll see him at the elevator with his suitcase and everything else, ready to get the heck out of town. The contract hit a big joke. The hitman found and solicited Hernandez Gomez, who they call Quet. The hitman, a druggie from the neighborhood, Cornelius, and the aspiring young rapper, Straight Drop. And they could have gotten away with it, but they didn't. What we watch up here is so quick. And we watch it and we call it violence. That's a man with a family and with a life who's laying at the edge there in the yellow, riddled with bullets, dead. We watch that and we call it violence. For Cornelius Smith and for Justin Johnson, it was just business. They call it business. What we do here this week, in here, we'll see the video plenty of times. We'll see the crosstown videos, the apartment videos, we still still shots and everything else. What we do here this week together is not violence and it is not business. It's justice. And at the end of this, you will see that both Cornelius Smith and Justin Johnson are caught. And they're both guilty of murder. They're both guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. And Johnson, as he is a prior felon, is also guilty of convicted felon in possession of a handgun. And if being caught on video is not enough for you, you'll also hear it from Cornelius Smith's mouth. That's me with the assault rifle killing Dolph. And that's Justin with the handgun with me killing Dolph. Even he realizes he's just caught.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning. Good to see you again. Thank y'all for being here. It's an important day. It's going to be an important week as you all sit in judgment and you evaluate the evidence in this case. And as we talked about in voir dire, Mr. Johnson sits before you innocent. And he'll remain that way. Because at the conclusion of this case, once you've viewed all the evidence and heard all the testimony, you will not be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that he did this. Because he didn't. Now, Mr. Hagerman was a very skilled attorney, did a great opening statement. But there's always two sides. And there are certain things about this case that I'm going to urge you to be paying particular attention to. You heard a little bit about Govan, and I anticipate you'll get to hear from Govan in this case. You already heard you're going to be hearing from Mr. Smith. You know, and Mr. Hagerman talked about Mr. Govan and said he liked to, you know, get an interest in young rappers, right? He liked to exploit. He liked to exploit young rappers, like Mr. Johnson. He brings no skill to the table, but you're going to hear testimony about how he intended. It was his sole mission to get a 30 to 60% piece of Mr. Johnson. You're going to hear him say, oh man, Mr. Johnson was going to go platinum. And he and his god brother had missed out on this golden opportunity for another rapper. And they weren't going to let that go by. They weren't going to let that go by again. And so he gets his claws into Mr. Johnson. All right? And what you're going to hear is, as the process goes on, is the idea is that he's going to sign with CMG, Mr. Johnson is. But there comes a point in the road where what Mr. Govan wants, which is a meal ticket, the payday, and what Mr. Johnson wants, differ. And you're going to hear about how they take this trip to Atlanta. And the whole idea is that they're going to go to Atlanta, and this is Mr. Govan's chance. He's got another guy he's going to bring in to help sell the management contract, which is going to give him this massive piece of this young up-and-coming artist. And you're going to hear, this is about September of 21. This is right before November. And you're going to hear that they go to Atlanta to meet Jook, who is one of the higher-ups at CMG. Right? They go to Atlanta, and while in Atlanta, Mr. Johnson decides, I'm not going to go your way. I'm not going to go your way, Govan. I'm not going into business with you. I'm going to do it without you. And at that moment, I anticipate you're going to hear Mr. Govan say he was really mad. He felt some kind of way about the fact that he had, in his mind, his perception was he had done all this to help this up and coming star, and now he was going to be left to the wayside, and he wasn't going to get a piece. And he's so angry that he leaves Mr. Johnson in Atlanta. Leaves him there. Mr. Johnson has to find another way home. You know, Mr. Hagerman talked about, it's not 1981, right? It's 2024 now. It's 21 when this happened. But there are certain things that are as old as time. And that's greed, right? Pride, and deceit. And that's what Mr. Govan has, is greed. And then he gets angry because if he can't get a piece of this young artist, nobody can. Nobody can. It's time to tank this one because he's not going to go with Govan. And Govan, you're going to hear, and the state has said, is soliciting. He's in the middle of this thing with Dolph. It's going to be important for you through this case to really pay attention to credibility. When you hear witnesses like Govan testify, why is he saying what he's saying? What's he getting at? He's getting something, and you're going to hear it. He's got a vested interest in making sure that he saves his own hide and takes this young rapper, this young man, off the board, since he wasn't going to go with him in the first place, since he abandoned him and decided not to share any of his money going forward. The same is to be said for Mr. Smith. You're going to hear from Mr. Smith. And Mr. Hagerman tells you, he says he's going to tell you that was getting injustice. You will also hear about other things Mr. Smith has said during the same time that he's been meeting with the state, meeting with law enforcement, trying to save himself. And while he's doing this, while he's meeting with them and telling them this story, you're also going to hear he's writing letters to his family and telling his family, I didn't really do this. I didn't really do this. I'm just going to get the deal. I just want the deal. I want you to know I didn't do it. I'm just saying what I got to say to get myself home. How much bigger of a motivator could someone have? And it makes you question. If he's saying those things to other people, how do you know the truth? How does the state know the truth before they put him up, right? You know, you're right, 2021, there's video. And I'm going to tell you now, similar clothing doesn't equal the same. All right? Video is going to show what it shows. You're going to be able to watch it, evaluate it, look at it. The crosstown videos and pictures that they show you. Look at them, evaluate them. Absolutely. But similar doesn't mean the same. For mass-produced items, you have to ask yourself, is there anything particularly significant or unique about those items that couldn't have been obtained by another person and worn by another person? And look, if that video on its own and the other part of that was enough, why would we need to hear from these other folks? Why would we need to hear from them? They want you to hear from them. They need you to hear from them because there was references of cell phone information. That cell phone information isn't going to be able to pinpoint where they are or where these phones are. That area has all sorts of other locations in it. You're going to hear, you heard that car was wiped. You're going to hear that they did fingerprint analysis on the car. Cornelia Smith's prints are on the car. Another individual named Kristen Garnered on the car. Another gentleman named Trayon Ingram on the car. You know whose fingerprints aren't on the car? Justin Johnson. And if it was wiped and then moved and wiped, as the state suggests, then how are their prints on? You're going to hear that they did touch DNA, right? So lucky. It's not 1981 anymore. We got touch DNA now. Forensics has come a long way. Crime scene unit went into this car and did several swipes for touch DNA. They don't have anything saying Justin Johnson's DNA. The car that they got, a dude got shot, according to Cornelius Smith. I mean, he got shot in the shoulder. No blood in the car that we're going to hear any forensic analysis about. How is that? These are the things that you as jurors will have to pay particular attention to throughout this case. The shame of it is that people like Govan and Cornelius Smith are going to get an opportunity to come and lie to your face. That's the shame. And they would. The judge instructed you earlier some of the things to be mindful of on credibility. So they appeared particularly honest. And then there becomes one really important. To what degree does what Cornelius is saying differ from what Govan is saying? Pay attention to that. Why is it different? The truth is one thing, right? One thing. And I'm not talking about inconsequential facts. I'm talking about this was a horrible thing that happened to Adolph Thornton and his family. It wasn't just every day. So, why are they telling different stories? So, we talked about this in Board I or something. The idea of keeping an open mind. I'm going to ask you again to do that. To hold any judgment or consideration on that issue until you've heard everything. And remember, I completely agree. This isn't business this week. This is justice. And as we talked about in Board I, your job is to mete out justice in this case. Absolutely. A life was lost. Absolutely. But as we talked about in Board I, and you all agreed, it's never justice if you convict the wrong person. So I appreciate all of your attention that you're going to provide this week in deciding the fate of Mr. Johnson. Because he didn't kill Adolph Thornton. And he shouldn't be the one that has to take the fall for it. Thank you.
State controversy.
The state calls Erica Thornton.
Erica Thornton. Ladies and gentlemen, while we're waiting on this first witness to come in, make sure your phones are turned off, please. Phones turned off. And if anyone feels like that they won't be able to handle emotionally testimony, things they might see, I ask you to leave. Please remove yourself. There will be no outburst. You swear or affirm to tell the truth? Yes. I seek your respect.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you state and spell your name for the record?
Erica, Erica, Thornton, Thornton.
Thank you. Did you know an individual by the name of Adolph Thornton Jr.?
Yes,
And how did you know him?
it's my brother.
What kind of relationship did you both have?
Sister and brother relationship, we were all pretty close. We had a great relationship. Spoke all the time. hung out every chance we could get together. So we had a great relationship.
Okay. And if you were shown a picture of your brother, Mr. Thornton, would you be able to recognize him?
Yes.
And Ms. Thornton, you said, who is that in that picture?
My brother, Adolph.
Okay. Your Honor, I request that this photo be entered into evidence and marked as exhibit number 1.
This is a photograph of who has been described as Adolph Thornton Jr. wearing black cap, turned backwards glasses. We'll mark this as exhibit 1 to this.
No objection.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And may I have permission to... Thank you. And Your Honor, may I have permission to publish this to the jury?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Thornton,
Hold up. Lift them up. Ladies and gentlemen, everything that's marked as an exhibit will go back to you when you deliberate. So you'll have opportunities to examine all the evidence.
so Ms. Thornton, you're familiar with his family, correct?
Yes.
Does he have any children?
Yes.
How many children does he have?
He has 2.
Okay. When was the last time you saw your brother?
The last time that I saw my brother was in September, right before Labor Day. So 2 months before he was murdered.
Okay. And you did find out that something had happened to him?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know of any funeral service of Mr. Thornton's?
Yes, I planned it.
Okay. Did you attend?
Yes.
Okay. My final question, do you miss your brother?
Most definitely.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to read a stipulation of fact into the evidence. It has been signed by both parties and Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
So before you do that, ladies and gentlemen, what she's getting ready to read to you is what she just said is a stipulation between the parties. The parties have chosen to, in order to keep witnesses from having to testify, witnesses from having to testify about certain events and things, the parties can stipulate to those facts. So you might hear a few stipulations throughout, and those will be also entered into evidence, and you'll go back, it will go back with you also.
The parties in this matter, the state of Tennessee, represented by Paul Hagerman and Iris Williams, and the defendant Justin Johnson, represented by Luke Evans, respectively, have agreed to the following. The victim in this case is Adolph Thornton Jr. He was a living person and is now deceased. Adolph Thornton Jr. was, as you will hear in later testimony, the same person that autopsy 2021-2619 was performed upon. These facts agreed to by the parties and may be accepted as true without the need for a witness or further proof. This is a stipulation made in all homicide cases so that the family members of the victim do not have to view autopsy pictures of the victim. It is so stipulated and approved by the court. And Your Honor, at this time, I request that this stipulation be entered into evidence and marked as the next number exhibit.
No objection.
This is a stipulation of facts dealing with the agreed upon facts of the witness not having to testify as to a autopsy photo. signed by all parties. We'll mark this as exhibit 2 for this.
Your Honor, at this time, I'll pass the witness.
No questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Stipp. Arguments witness?
Call Raul Hopkins.
Step up here, sir. You swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You can face me. You don't have to worry about that microphone. Just sort of keep your voice up, okay?
Yes.
Tell us your name.
Blue Hopkins,
Can you spell your first last name?
BLUEHOPKINS.
You go by Blue, is that right? Or Mr.
Yes, sir.
Blue or something?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Real name is Raul, R-A-U-L, Hopkins, H-O-P-K-I-N-S.
Thank you. How old are you?
60.
All right. Do you know Adolph Thornton Jr.?
Yes, sir.
How do you know?
From the neighborhood, family,
What neighborhood?
Castaic.
And tell the jury where Castelia is.
It's South Memphis. It's north of Dunn.
Is that where, and I'm going to call it, if Adolph Thornton Jr., what did you call him?
Young Dolph.
Young Dolph or Dolph?
Dolph, yes, sir.
Is that where Dolph grew up?
Yes, sir.
Were you Dolph's friend
Friend?
for his whole life?
Yes.
Are you also involved in his business?
Yes.
What was your involvement in his business?
I was his security.
And how many years have you been working his security?
7 years.
Job probably quite a bit of travel,
Yes, sir.
a little bit of stress.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about Dolph's record label. What was the name of it?
Paper Route Empire.
And is that Dolph and other artists?
Yes.
Dolph helped promote those other artists?
Yes.
And Dolph would perform, I assume, concerts and things like this.
Yes, sir.
You were in charge of security for many of these things
Yes, sir.
for some years, it sounds like.
Yes, sir.
Let me pass you this diagram if you've seen it. Tell me what that is underneath that little placard.
That's the PRE chain.
Okay, and PRE, that Paper Route Empire,
Yes, sir.
his label,
Yes, sir.
and he says a chain, like a necklace or something.
Yes, sir.
Is that Dolph's?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'll move that into evidence that states next on the exhibit.
Objection.
This is a picture of a chain, emblem for a chain, PRE, with the placard number 64, looks like in a pot. We'll mark that as exhibit number 3.
You familiar with a rival rap label?
Yes.
What was its name?
CMG.
Cocaine Music Group?
I think so, yes, sir.
Does that label have artists and things like it under that umbrella?
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with the name Juke or Big Juke?
Yes, sir.
And is that person, to your knowledge, affiliated or part of the leadership of CMG?
To my knowledge, yes, sir.
You familiar with any sort of rivalry between CMG and Dolph?
Yes, sir.
You familiar with sort of the origins of that rivalry?
Yes, sir.
And what is that?
Of us doing shows, we got the Brown shot up, a few other various things. There's a lot of shit going on.
Okay, well, let me back up, because I think you're talking about incidents that happened, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, let's back up. Do you know, why does CMG have a problem with Dolph at all? You're not familiar with that? You familiar with Dolph ever turning down proposals to sign with artists from CMG?
Yes.
Was it important to Dolph that he did it himself?
Yes, sir.
Did he make public statements like that?
Yes, sir.
Did he make statements like that in his rap songs?
Yes, sir.
In his rap songs, did he call out CMG and those artists?
Yes, sir.
In those rap songs, in fact, did he call out Big Jook?
Yes, sir.
Did he say insulting things about Big Jook?
Yes, sir.
Through the years, has that translated into some violence directed against Dolph?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned 2 incidents. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
To be clear, these are incidents that happened in the past. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, who's on trial now, was not part of it.
No, sir.
Tell me quickly about those 2 incidents.
1 and 15, we was in Charlotte.
What happened in Charlotte?
We just came to the hotel. We was in the Sprinter
Van?
van, yes, sir. We was sitting there for about 15, 20 minutes. Ran upstairs. Once we got upstairs, got in the room, 2 more people ran up and said they just shot a box.
Bullet holes?
Bullet holes.
A lot of them?
Yes, sir.
Dolph ended up even rapping about it?
Yes, sir.
An act of CMG violence.
Yes, sir.
What was the other incident?
The other incident happened in California when he actually got shot
Dolph got shot.
in California.
Perpetrators affiliated with CMG.
Yes, sir.
You can see where security would be stressful.
Yes, sir.
Protecting not just your client, but it sounds like your friend.
Yes, sir.
It's just a little piece of paper. Defense counsel seeing this. We just pass this forward, Judge. To the witness. That emblem on that, you familiar with that?
Yes, sir.
Is that CMG?
Yes, sir.
You know, if we just offer that in evidence to say next somebody says it.
Objection.
This is the letter CMG with Cocaine Music Group under it. Looks like an emblem. We'll mark this as Exhibit 4.
I could publish these 2 exhibits, Sean.
Okay.
It's exhibit 3 and 4 for the record. Thank you. It's just. I'll publish the exhibits with the logo of PRE, Paper Route Empire, and CMG, Cocaine Music Group.
Yes, sir.
have Mr. Blue identify some people real quick in the video itself, Your Honor, if we could stop it for a second. I've spoken with defense counsel, and this video will go ahead and admit into evidence. I don't think we need to mark it right now. It's on the flash drive.
We do.
You-
We don't want to mark it right now?
I don't think we can view it if there's questions, and then we can mark it after he testifies rather than having to load everything back up.
That's fine.
Okay. We'll watch a little bit of this, okay? Sure. All right, you can stop there, Ives. Are you familiar with this car?
Yes, sir.
Whose car is that?
Young Dolph.
It's one of those new Corvettes.
Yes, sir.
I see that it has either a paint job or a wrap or something on it. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that.
It's just, he wrapped a lot of his cars
Okay.
camouflage.
Okay. So it's like a white and blue sort of camouflage pattern.
No, it's more like white and green.
Okay. And that is something he had several of his vehicles in.
Yes, sir.
All right, you stop it there, Iris. Who is that?
That's Young Dolph.
All right. And who is that?
That's his brother.
Is his brother's name Marcus?
Yes, sir.
Do you know Marcus?
Yes, sir.
Has this event had a significant impact on Marcus?
Yes, sir.
Did Marcus sometimes help with Dolph's security?
Yes, sir.
Let's go inside video so we can just leave it up inside. Is that the car arriving?
Yes, sir.
Do you know where they were arriving from?
No, sir, I don't.
Do you know if Dolph had been to Makita's before?
Yes, sir.
Had you ever been there with him?
No, sir.
Had you ever even tried the cookies there?
No, sir.
Did he ever talk to you about the cookies?
Yes, sir.
Is that Dolph?
Yes, sir.
The chain around his neck? Is that the PRE chain?
Yes, sir.
The one that we saw in the exhibit?
Yes, sir.
And that's Marcus behind him?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Happens quick.
Yes, sir.
Mark the Dolph.
last remark is exhibits later on in the trial.
Okay, done.
No further
Any
questions.
objection about the marking of the exhibit?
Sorry, Judge.
Any objection to the marking of the exhibit?
No objection.
Any questions, Mr. Evans?
No question.
Thank you, sir.
Good day, Judge Shannon.
You may. It's time to take a break. Once again, do not talk about what you heard. You only just heard a small amount of what you're going to hear. So go rest yourself, rest your mind for a little while, leave all of your notes here, and we'll take a state of recess.
All rise. This court stands in recess.
Are you ready? We got anything we need to take up before we bring the jury in?
Just real quick, Judge,
Let's go back on the record.
Court's back in session.
just put 2 things or 3 things on the record. The next witness is anticipated to be Cornelius Smith.
Okay.
In custody, charged in this matter has an attorney, Mr. Scholl, who's present. Instructed him, like I said at the start of the trial, told him I'm not gonna ask any questions of him having to do with eliciting any testimony about other crimes that he and Justin may have allegedly committed together, things like that, so I'm staying away from that. I've instructed him with regard to that.
Okay.
At some point, after Mr. Smith testifies, he'll be going to prison, and his safety at prison is obviously a concern. This case has gang involvement on both sides. He and his attorney would request that the cameras be instructed not to film his face as he testifies, as he'll have ongoing security concerns in prison from this day out.
All right. So media, both still cameras and video, the court orders that this next witness's face not be filmed or photographed. Waist down, the court is okay with. Coming out of there, he should not be filmed. Right. So no pictures of his face at all. Shoes, lower body, court has no problem with, but no pictures of his face. Yeah, ongoing security concerns. Everybody understand? All right. Anything else?
No.
Think we enjoyed it.
Yes, ma'am. Go all the way to the wall, please, all the way to the wall.
Can everybody check their cell phones now, please, to make sure they're off? Those of you who just came in, please check your cell phones to make sure they're off, please.
Ready, Your Honor?
I am.
Jury's now entered into the courtroom.
You may be seated. We're standing for you. State, call your next witness.
Cornelius Smith.
Step this way, sir. Stand right here. Face your honor, raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Proceed.
All right, Mr. Smith, tell me your name
Cornelius Schmidt,
and spell the first name
CORNELIUS,
and the last name.
SMITH.
Now, there's a microphone next to you to your right, but you don't have to worry about it. Church. You can look out toward me, keep your voice up, so I can hear you back here, okay?
Yes, sir.
And when I ask a question, or when the defense attorney asks a question, or if the judge asks a question, you've got to verbalize your answer, okay? So shaking the head and everything, I know what it means,
Yes, sir.
but she's taking down what you say, and so we need it like that,
Yes.
all right? How old are you?
I'm 34.
Where are you from?
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
What neighborhood?
Like, on behind here.
Okay. Like what streets did you grow up on?
Off Lamar and Sims.
All right. You got a family?
Yes, sir. I have 5 children still living. I lost my son in March of 2020.
Okay. And let's talk about 2020 because, well, that was a terrible thing, right?
Yes, sir.
How old was he?
He was 9 at the time.
And that had an impact on everybody,
Yes, sir.
had an impact on you.
Yes, sir.
It caused you to take up some old habits.
Yes, sir. I went back to popping pills and not caring about nothing.
Before 2020, were you working?
I was working in schools in Germantown.
What'd you do for the schools in
I was a
Germantown?
janitor.
Did you do good at that job?
Yes, sir.
Your son dies, you say you start popping pills.
Yes, sir. Oxycodone and ecstasy.
Street drugs.
Yes, sir.
Did you start hanging back in your neighborhood?
Yes, sir. Started hanging around a lot of old friends.
All right. Some of those old friends trouble?
We all in trouble. I'm gonna say that. We all in trouble.
And I'm looking here, Cornelius, at your criminal record. You were convicted of aggravated assault in 2011, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Convicted of misdemeanor drugs in 2014.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, 2012.
12.
Case started in 2011 and ended in 2012.
Yes, sir.
That was misdemeanor drugs.
Yes, sir.
And then resisting official detention in 2014.
Yes, sir.
That same Cornelius Smith.
Yes, sir.
And you're presently charged in this case with conspiracy to commit murder and with murder. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you have an attorney in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And is he in the courtroom? Let me get out of your
Yes,
way.
sir.
Okay. What promises have I made to you with regard to your testimony today?
No.
Have I told you that you're not going to testify and walk out of here?
Yes, you told me that.
Do you know that you're going to prison?
Yes, sir.
Have I told you that it's very important, though, for you to tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
I told you it's important to tell the truth because I said so,
Yes, sir.
and because the judge will evaluate whether or not you told the truth.
Right.
And have I told you it's in your best interest to tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
Are you here to tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
I want to skip forward. Okay? We're going to go back to everything. But I want to skip forward. Tell me about the day that you were arrested for this case.
It was my daughter's birthday, actually. And I was out. I had took her some cake and ice cream to school for her birthday. And the U.S. Marshals they were trailing me the whole time. I didn't know that they were trailing me because I had saw Govan the day before. And he was telling me that, police was on to us or whatever. And he asked me when the last time I spoke to Justin. And he was saying, I was like, it's been a minute. So he was like, they just ran in Justin's spot the night before. And he said that they been shooting at him and that I need to get rid of my phone because they own us. And the next day, I was locked up. Like,
Police,
locked up.
police captured
was on
you?
me
Police captured you that day?
the next day.
Did they get your phone that day from you?
They ain't get it from me. I left it with my children's mother or whatever.
They get your phone from your children's mother?
Yes, sir.
So you didn't throw it away like Govan told you to?
Nah, I ain't threw it away. I gave it to her.
Now, when the police first arrest you, I mean at the very start, do you say, hey, I want to tell you the truth about this whole thing?
No. I ain't never did it.
Okay. You Did they interview you right after they arrested you?
Yeah, they interviewed me in Mississippi.
Okay. Did you tell them the truth or the lie?
I told them that.
Okay. At some point after you're arrested, did you decide to tell the truth?
Yeah, once I came to my senses and Justin had wrote me a kite. Somebody just
Thing. So let me tell you, when you hear another lawyer speak up and object, that means you stop talking. Okay? And you'll be instructed to either move on or to another question. Okay?
And I think so the objection is going to be hearsay. So let me try to get you. Let's try to back up, okay? So you said after you arrested, you came to your senses. Is that correct?
correct.
And you say that Justin, is that the defendant in this case,
Yes, sir.
had written you something that you called
A kite.
okay? Okay. Without saying what was in that kite, and that's a letter, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Without saying in that letter, after you received that letter, did you decide to tell the truth?
Right.
And what did you do once you decided to tell the truth?
I had spoke with my lawyer.
And thereafter, have you met a few times with detectives?
Yes.
And have you met, we count those 2 minutes right back here, I guess 3 or 4 times with me, is that correct?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say you did that because you realized you had been caught?
Yeah, I've been caught and I got a conscience too. Now they don't away my senses. Yeah, I got a conscience.
I'm gonna play a video up here, Cornelius. You can turn a little bit, see it once we start playing.
For the record, you're playing what's
Will
been
be,
marked as, or will be marked as, exhibit number 5.
you can stop it right there. All right, Miss, what are we looking at?
That's the day that we had saw Young Dolph and them pulling in Makitas.
All right, so whose car is that?
That's Young Dolph's car.
All right, and you say we, who saw this car?
Me and Justin.
Well, let's back up then and tell me how you know Justin.
Through Govan.
All right, and who is Govan?
Ananda Govan Quick. We know him by Quick.
Okay, who is Quet?
Associate.
All right, you say associate, is he younger or older than you?
Older.
What neighborhood does he hang out in?
Orange Mountain.
Does he live over there?
Yes, sir, he did.
Do you know what street his house is on?
Bradley.
Are you familiar with that street?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever buy drugs from Mr. Govan?
Yes, I brought ecstasy.
Okay, would he sell you ecstasy pills? You ever heard the term like old head?
Nah.
Okay. Would you consider him sort of a older criminal figure in the neighborhood?
Yeah, I call him like a bro.
Okay. Did you have another guy in that neighborhood you used to hang out with too?
Yeah, Big Bobby.
Big Bobby. Is that Bobby Carter?
Bobby Carter, yes, sir.
How often would you be over there on Bradley Street?
I know that's just about every day.
Okay. So this was a hangout area, and you would buy ecstasy from Quet.
Quick.
All right. How is it that you met Justin through Quet?
Just, like being around, basically. Being around.
Would Justin be around Quet too?
Yeah, he'll be around quick.
Do you know why Justin would be around Quet?
They look at each other like brothers. Brothers and then just rap or whatever.
All right. You knew Justin to be a rapper?
Yeah.
Did you know his rap name?
Straight drop.
And did you know Quet to be involved in, I guess, the rap business or something?
He called himself.
Okay.
Called himself.
What sort of would he call himself as far as being in the business?
I guess a negotiator. I don't know.
A negotiator?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you know whether or not he was trying to negotiate for straight drop?
I guess trying to get him a deal.
Okay. Do you know who he was trying to get him a deal with?
Oh, be juking him. Got in him.
All right. You said Big Joke, is that correct?
Yeah.
You ever heard of the music label CMG?
Yeah.
Is that Big Jokes?
Yeah, be juking him.
And his brother, right?
Yeah.
His brother's Gotti, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Before this day, which is in November of 2021, about how long had you been knowing Justin?
3 months.
A few months. About how many times do you think you'd been around him?
Up 10, we done went to club together. We've been around each other a couple times.
Okay. And for the record, I know that it's a formality, but for the record, can you point him out in the courtroom and tell me what he's wearing and stuff?
Yeah, the young brother over there with the button-down shirt, blue and white button-down shirt.
If the record could reflect that he's identified the defendant, Mr. Justin Johnson, Your Honor.
Let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant in court.
So how did you get to be with Justin Johnson this day on November 17th, 2021?
We knew that, they had a hit on Dolph and them head or whatever, so
Who had a hit on whose head?
Big Jug had a hit on Dolph head or whatnot, so
How do you know that Big Jug had a hit on Dolph's head?
Cause Quit had told me about it, Quit, and you know what I'm saying, being just
How much money was it supposed to be?
100,000 on Dolph head.
And had you agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
Had Justin agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
Were y'all gonna do it together?
Yeah, they been on it, but yeah.
Was there any arrangements as far as splitting the money or anything?
Yeah, me and him supposed to be giving Quit 10,000 apiece.
All right, so you and him were gonna give Govan 10,000 apiece?
Yeah,
And how much were you gonna get?
I was getting 40, he was getting 40.
Okay. Had you spoken with Justin about this?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay. This was not something that just happened this day, but something that was in the process for weeks?
Yeah,
How did y'all hook up this day, if you remember?
he had pulled up to give you. He came and got me or whatever.
Where'd he get you from?
He got me from my father's house.
Where's your father's house?
Out of Lamont Sims.
Orange Mound area?
Yeah.
Had either you called him or he called you or anything like
He
this?
had called me the first time I missed the call. Then he called me back. I answered. He telling me basically they were pulling up because we already knew what was going on.
When you say you already knew what was going on, you already knew what this is about?
Yeah, because we knew they were doing the turkey drive, so we was actually on our way to Westwood.
Had you and Justin talked about this particular day before?
Like, nah, not the specific day. Like, we just knew that it was turkey drive going every day that week.
Okay. You knew that, the fair said you knew Dolph was involved in these turkey drives this week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we didn't know we were gonna catch him, but we knew he did his artist. Everybody had a hit on him. Everybody had a price on him.
From Jook?
Yeah, from Juke.
And that was going to be y'all's business this week.
Yeah, that was our evening.
When he arrived at the house, do you remember what he was driving?
White Mercedes Benz.
Okay. Had you seen that car before?
Nah, I ain't never saw that car.
Did you get in the car with him?
Yeah, I got him.
Was there anybody else in the car?
Nah, it was just me and Jessica.
Were there any guns in the car?
Yeah, they was on the back seat in the bag.
Do you remember what kind of guns there were?
A Draco, handgun.
Okay. And Draco, Memphis, some type of bigger semi-automatic weapon, is that right? And then a handgun? Do Do you remember what you were wearing that day?
I had on some gray sweatpants, orange and white Jordan 1, and a blue Gap hoodie
A blue Gap hoodie
with a do-rag on.
with a do-rag on. Did y'all have gloves?
I had my own glue.
You had your own gloves?
He had his own glue.
When you got in the car, did you have your gloves on?
Nah, I ain't have no glue.
You said Justin had his own gloves?
Yeah, he had his gloves on. Some black gloves.
He had his black gloves on before he picked you up?
Yeah.
Does he get out of his car and pick you up, or do you go up to the car? How's that work?
Nah, I got out the house, came out the house, got on in the car.
Okay. Off to do the mission.
Yeah, we should try to catch somebody.
Try to catch one of the rappers
Yeah, one of them
at the Turkey Drive in Westwood.
in Westwood.
All right. What happens if y'all get in the car?
Oh, we went back on Bradley Street. We got some out of I think they were like a expedition truck that he had parked on Bradley Street. And then we took the back street. We was at Lamont Airways. We at the light.
So he picks up, let me get this right. He picks you up in the Mercedes, is that right?
Yeah,
But you go to Bradley Street.
yeah,
And is there an expedition already there?
yeah, expedition already there, parked in the yard.
Do you know who parked that expedition there?
I guess he did.
Okay, well, we're not allowed to guess in here.
Well,
Okay. So
nah,
was
I
it,
ain't see him park it though.
okay. And what color was it?
White,
The white expedition.
yeah, white.
Did y'all do anything when y'all went to Bradley Street at that point?
He got some out the truck and then jumped back in the car.
I got you. So he gets out of the Mercedes at Bradley Street, goes into the expedition and gets something.
Yeah,
And comes back.
come back.
Do you know what he got?
Nah, I don't know.
Are y'all talking at this point?
Nah, we wasn't talking, like, because he was on the phone at first, then he hung it up. But we wasn't talking about.
Now, y'all were cool with each other, is that right? You and Justin?
God.
He gets back in the white Mercedes.
Yeah, he get big in the white Mercedes. And we take the back street, then get you and stuff to, we was at Lamont Airways. We finna get on the expressway, going to the expressway.
Okay. Bradley to Dedrick, is that what you said?
Yeah,
And then y'all are gonna get on the expressway.
yeah, we finna get on the expressway on Airways.
Okay. But and this is Airways that we see.
Yeah, that's Airways.
Okay. What happens once y'all get to Airways?
We at the light. Y'all can come clean across the light.
How'd y'all know it was Dolph?
Everybody know, hey, Kai, on T cars and stuff.
Yeah. People in Memphis knew about that rap, right?
Yeah,
Camouflage white and green and blue rap.
camouflage.
That surprised you? See him like that?
Yeah,
Did you say anything or did Justin say anything?
we was like, there go dog right now.
All right. What did y'all do?
We received the trailer. Received the trailer.
So y'all are following him on Airways?
Yeah, right over the street.
And you saw the first part of this video, didn't you?
Yeah,
Did you see him pull off here to the cookie store?
yeah, he pulled in the cookie store.
What'd y'all do?
We made the block. Came with the bag way. I jumped out. We started shooting.
All right. Well, let's back up here though. We saw him pull off of Airways to here. Is that right?
Yeah,
Y'all, can you see my little pointer?
yeah.
Y'all would be traveling this direction on Airways. Is that right? And did y'all do a crazy U-turn or anything, or what'd y'all do?
Nah. We came with the back street.
Okay. Following the clickers is what y'all did?
Yeah.
Okay.
We went to the light, made the loop around.
Did you see him get out of his car like this?
Nah, I ain't seen him get out the car.
Okay. Say y'all,
Yeah, that's us right there.
stop it here.
It's me.
Can you stop it? All right. We're gonna back up. I wanted to, back up a little bit. All right. First guy out of the car, who's that?
It's me.
That's you? Which one of the guns do you have?
I got the little Draco stab gun.
Okay, that's that semi-automatic weapon, is that right?
Yeah.
You ever shot that thing before?
Nah, I ain't never shot one of them.
Okay. You can proceed, Iris. That's your Gap hoodie, is that right?
Yeah, it's me.
That's you, who are you shooting at?
Young Dolph.
All right, now back it up again, Miss Iris, if you would. Back it up for Justin getting out of the car. All right, who's the second person here that got out of the driver's side?
It's just,
He's got the smaller handgun, is that right?
yeah, bad baseball hat, bad pro baseball hat.
You're firing this crazy thing. What you see? What are you feeling?
I wouldn't feel nothing at the time, but I ain't gonna even let it. I wouldn't feel nothing at the time. I was just, trying to get some money.
Trying to get some money? Bet you probably would have wasted on oxycodone and ecstasy.
Trying to do something with my kid.
You shot that gun a bunch?
Right then and there,
Right then and there.
yeah, I can't tell you how many times I shot out.
Aiming for Dolph.
Oh, I ain't know.
Was he able to say anything to y'all, or was he able to run or get away at all?
I shot through the glass, so I wasn't close up on him. I was shooting through the glass.
Okay.
I saw him standing by the window. I just got out and started shooting.
All right. Proceed till Justin shoots. There with the handgun. Who's that?
It's just,
All right. You proceed. All right, you can stop right here. It's Dolph's brother, Marcus. Did you know that he shot back at y'all?
I ain't noticed until we pulled out. There was a bullet hole in my side window. And I told Jason, I'm like, man, I'm hit. He was like, I'm hit too. So I see, I'm hit right here on my leg. And I see a bullet hole in my sweater. I said, damn, I'm hit. So we driving out, he was saying he was hit. I'm talking to him, making sure we on Rick, making sure he's straight. I'm like, you all right? He's like, yeah, I'm straight. But the bullet head went in my arm. It was a bullet in my back.
I'm gonna back up. You and Justin here are running to the white Mercedes, is that right?
Right.
You get in what side of the car?
I get on the passenger side.
And Justin gets back in the driver's side?
Yeah, he get back on the driver's side.
Y'all get in the car. You can watch the rest of the video here. Did y'all see Marcus getting a second gun from his car?
Nah, but when we pulled out and I knew it was shots back, I was finna shoot back, but there were too many cars coming and I ain't just want to hit no anybody, so I ain't shoot back.
Because Marcus was shooting at y'all as y'all were leaving from down here, is that right?
Yeah,
And you would be in the car at this point,
yeah, we was in the car.
looking backwards?
Yeah, I was looking back, but we had, like, how we were driving, like, how he was driving, he was all the way on the other side, but, so I ain't want to just shoot back.
So all the shots that you fired were the ones we saw right here with Dolph, is that right?
Yeah,
And Justin too?
yeah.
All right, so y'all didn't shoot back at Marcus as y'all were
Nah, I
driving
want to shoot back at him.
You say you got shot in the shoulder,
Yeah, I got hit in my shoulder, in my upper arm,
in the upper arm, shoulder area here
on my
of
leg.
your right and your leg, and you realized you had been shot once you got in the car.
Yeah, once I got in the car.
Okay, you still have, a scar from when you got shot, in the arm, is that right?
Yeah, right.
Mark, I have him step down, display this to the jury real quick. Come on, Mr. Chairman. Turn sideways here. Just walk down this way, backwards toward the wheel. Thank you, sir. All right, you and Justin jump back in the car. You've been hit in the shoulder,
On my leg.
and in the leg. Justin may or may not have been hit, but said
Yeah,
something
got scraped on his back.
scraped in the back. All right, what now?
We went back on Bradley Street.
Did y'all go to Bradley Street slow or fast?
Nah, we went back fast.
Okay, fast.
We went back fast. We were trying to, get caught. So he
Okay.
gave me the keys to the expedition. So
He
he
gave you
called the beans.
Who gave you the keys to the
Justin
expedition?
gave me the keys to the expedition.
Okay.
So I moved the truck out the way, and he pulled the beans in the yard.
So the expedition, was it parked in the driveway of Bradley?
Yeah, we bought in the driveway.
And he gives you the keys to the expedition?
Yeah,
You get inside to move it?
yeah.
And then where does he put the Mercedes?
He put it like right there, where the expedition in the front yard.
Okay, so the front driveway area
Yeah.
of Bradley, is that right?
Right.
What do you do next?
We jumped in the expedition. We was on our way to the gas station. We FaceTime Juke, let them know they was out of work.
Who FaceTime Jook?
Justin had FaceTime Juke, and spelling out dog. You know what I'm saying? Let them know that we did it.
And let's back that up. You say, let him know it was y'all's work.
Right.
You said somebody spelled out Dolph. Who spelled out Dolph?
Justin spelled out dog.
When you say spelled out Dolph, what do you mean?
Like the sign language.
With
Jailhouse sign
with,
language. Yeah.
like this would be an O.
Nah, yeah, I think I don't know how to do it, but
Okay.
something like that.
All right, so there was some signing,
Yeah.
then y'all just took care of Dolph. Was that short call, long call?
It was short.
Did you hear Jook say anything back?
Yeah, he'll get with us when he get done with the kids, or get up one of them.
He'll get with y'all when, I didn't hear that last part.
Get up, or get up with, finish with the kids, or something like that.
But he was busy with his kids.
Yeah, something like that.
Gotcha, but he would get up with y'all after that. Okay. How are you feeling at this point?
He point, I'm hurting because I was shot.
Where are y'all's guns at this point?
We had them in the backseat of the expedition.
Okay, so y'all brought them with you from the Mercedes to the expedition?
Yeah.
Were y'all still wearing your gloves, do you remember?
I don't remember.
So y'all are in the expedition. The FaceTime call with Jook has happened. What do y'all do? Where y'all headed? What y'all saying?
We went to the gas station, put some gas in the expedition truck first in the University Memphis area. Then he was trying to find, Justin was trying to find somebody at the house we could go, so, we get cleaned up or whatnot.
All right. You needed some medical attention or something.
Yeah, he had called one of his partners, Justin had called one of his partners to bring me a wound kick, bring us a wound kick or whatever.
Do you know who he called?
I don't know what he got.
Do you have your phone with you during this?
Nah, my phone, I had left my phone in the green in the Mercedes Benz.
All right. So when you got in the Benz from your house, did you have your phone with you?
Yeah, I had my phone, I put it in the glove department.
Okay. When you got out to shoot Dolph like we saw, did you have your phone with you?
Nah, it was in the glove department of the Benz.
Okay. Had you put it in the glove compartment so that it wouldn't be on you,
Yeah, I put it in.
but you forgot?
Yeah.
So when you and Justin in the expedition, you don't have your phone, but he has his.
Yeah.
Is he able to make contact with somebody to figure out how to get stuff or where to go?
Oh, he had called one of his cousins. He said whose house we went over in Whitehaven, so we could clean up, change clothes or whatnot. And Quay had called like, man, y'all gotta clean this stuff up. Quay had called. And I was like, man, get my phone at the car. Get my phone at the car. Left my phone in the car. So he was like, all right, we need to move this car. That's what Quay was saying.
So we talked to Jook right after,
Yeah,
but Quet too.
yeah.
And do you remember whether or not the conversations with Quet happened before y'all got to his cousin's apartment or after?
Yeah, I can't recall.
Okay. But it was all close together.
Yeah, well,
And tell me again what Quet said during these conversations?
yeah, we had to like get rid of that car. We had to move that car, get rid of it.
Because y'all had put this car in a driveway on Bradley, right?
Yeah, right across the street from the house.
Right across the street from where Quet lives.
Right.
He said y'all need to move this.
Yeah, we gotta burn that junk up. Gotta get rid of it.
Y'all were busy trying to get yourselves taken care of that.
Yeah, we you know, we changed clothes with her, and I had whole peroxide on me and wrapped myself up, and I had to text my girl, come get me, text her the address off of Justin phone to come get me.
And let's get there, but you said that Justin had contacted his cousin about going to her place, is that right?
Yeah,
Is that Kiana Hopper?
yeah,
Did y'all in fact go to her place?
correct.
When y'all went to her place, what car were y'all in?
We was in the White Expedition.
When y'all get to her place, what do y'all do?
But we went inside, changed clothes, and we was in there. She had helped me for a minute before the wound kit came. She was helping me out or whatever. We changed clothes, and the wound kit came. I was able to, put a bandage on it and stuff like that.
I want to show you a video. See that person there?
Yeah.
Is that the White Expedition?
Yeah, that's the White Expedition.
Who's driving it?
I'm driving.
This woman that we had seen earlier that walks back, is that Justin's cousin?
Yeah, that's her.
Can stop it here. Driver just got out. Who's that?
That's me.
You got your shirt all messed up, don't you?
Yeah.
Why is that
I'm bleeding. I'm shot.
in the shoulder?
Yeah.
Go, and we saw somebody get out the passenger side, is that right?
Yeah, that's just.
All right, you can play a little further. Gray sweatpants, black hoodie, and that hat we saw is Justin, is that correct?
Correct.
Same outfits that y'all were wearing during the murder?
Correct.
Y'all go inside, tell me what y'all do once y'all get inside.
We change clothes. We change clothes. We didn't talk too much to her about nothing that went down or nothing like that.
All right,
But we had changed clothes or whatnot.
tell me about your shoulder.
I was bleeding. I was bleeding and stuff. So she gave me some peroxide and stuff, put on my shoulder or whatnot. And the wound kit pulled up. So I was able to bandage that junk up.
Wound kit, did you say pulled up or came up, is that right?
Yeah.
Had Justin gone outside?
Yeah, he went outside to get the bag.
Play that next video. Do you know whose charger this is?
Nah, I don't know the charge.
You see that man that came out?
Yeah,
Who's that?
it's just
He's taking off the hoodie, is that right?
taking off a hoodie.
He doesn't have the hoodie on anymore, does he?
Nah, we had trying clothes.
What are these things in his hand?
Oh, that's the wound kit. Walgreens, baby.
He's got like a yellow, looks like a piece of clothing or something, is that right?
Yeah,
And then the wound care bags?
yeah.
Does he come back in the apartment?
Yeah, he come back in with the wound care, the wound king.
And then wound care wise, what happens in there?
Oh, clean me up. He had cleaned each other up really good. He had got scrapes on the back. I can see it though. Yeah, clean.
You had got shot.
Yeah, I got a shot.
He had a scrape.
Yeah, he got scraped on the back.
After y'all get patched up, y'all leave the apartment?
I had text my girl from his phone and sent her the address to come get me.
Okay, you had used Justin's phone to text your girlfriend?
Right.
When y'all talked to Quet and he told y'all to move the car, did you tell him anything about your phone?
Yeah, I told him to get my phone at the glove department. And he told me to meet him over at the car wash to get my phone or whatever.
Okay. We can play the video of y'all leaving now. Does your girlfriend in fact come to pick you up?
Yeah, she pulled up.
Who's in the yellow hoodie?
That just in that yellow hoodie. And me with the black.
And then Kiana again, is that right?
Yeah.
You're walking over here. What are you walking to?
I'm walking my girl truck that just pulled up.
Okay. Is that a Chevy Trax? Is that right?
It's 120 shift truck.
At this point, have y'all made arrangements as far as meeting up later or anything like that?
Yeah, I was actually finna go get my phone from Quick and go get me some pills because I was shot up. And he was finna go get the money from Julie. He supposed to, we
Is this a Chevy Trax?
yeah, it's a Chevy truck.
Justin there in the yellow?
Yeah.
Justin still in the elevator?
Yeah, it's just,
You in the car with your girlfriend?
yeah, I'm gonna call my coach.
Y'all go your separate ways at this point?
Yeah, we go out separate ways.
Where do you and your girlfriend go?
I went to meet Quick,
Where'd you meet him at?
at the car wash.
Is that Pressure World?
Yeah,
Did you in fact meet him there?
yes.
What happened when you met him there?
I got my phone from him, and he was telling me that he heard that Dolph had shot one of us, because I had told him how he told me that he heard that Dolph had shot one of us, and that one of our blood was on the scene, and he had me that we have our face masks on and stuff.
Did you tell me you had your mask on?
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't actually Dolph that had shot one of you, was it?
Nah,
It was actually the brother.
right.
Did you tell him that at the time?
Nah, I ain't know.
How long, was that the extent of the conversation you had with Quet at the time?
It was third, and then I had left, and he had called my phone, and he was like, he need to holler at me about something else, and he was finna pull up on me over my dad's house real fast. So I waited for him.
From the car wash, do you remember where you went?
I went to my dad's house.
Okay. And did he pull up at your dad's house?
Yeah, he pulled up at my dad's house.
Did y'all have a second conversation there?
Yeah, we had a second conversation, and I had asked him to give me some more money, so I give me some more pills.
Did he give you some more money?
Yeah.
Was there anything else related in that second conversation about Dolph's murder or?
He was just saying we just gotta get rid of the car. He was saying we gotta get rid of the car and stuff.
Quet was saying that y'all need to get rid of the car.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of the car.
That it was y'all's problem?
Yeah, it really was everybody's problem. He was just like, just need to give us the key to that car so we can get rid of the car.
Okay. Justin had the keys to the Mercedes.
Yeah.
Now, when Justin left, did he tell you where he was going?
Nah, he ain't tell me exactly where you going, but he supposed to got up with Juke and got back up with me.
Do you know whether or not he actually did get up with Joe?
I don't know.
When Justin left in the expedition, where were the guns?
They was in trouble.
In the truck? In the expedition?
Yeah.
Do you know what happened with those guns?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen them again at all?
I ain't see Justin no more.
Did Justin ever tell you what he did with the guns?
Nah,
Did Quet ever tell you what happened with the guns?
nah.
You back at your dad's house, but you've been shot in the shoulder.
He wanna leave.
How do you feel?
Messed up. Like, I'm messed up, but I'm trying to go get these pills, but I pop pills anyway, so I know where to snap at. I know how to snap at.
Okay, did you find some pills?
Yeah,
Did you take your pills?
yeah.
Do you remember that night? Did you sleep good? Sleep bad? How were you?
I had passed out the night. I had blacked out in the bathroom from too much blood or whatever.
Okay.
But my girl had got me back up and stuff like that.
Were you worried about your physical condition?
Nah, I wasn't worried because I knew long as I wasn't bleeding out the mouth, that I was okay. Long as I ain't no blood coming from my mouth, I'm straight. I've been shot before, so I was straight. So
Was your girl worried about you?
yeah, she was worried. She was worried. I was just trying to get my money.
Were you afraid that the police maybe knock on your door?
Nah, I
I wasn't thinking about none of it, to be honest with you, because, you know, I thought, you know, if the car was gonna be out the way, stuff like that, like, I won't worry about none of it. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
This was a car that wasn't connected to you.
Nah, when the car,
Y'all wore gloves.
yeah, we had them gloves,
The guns were gone.
right?
This happened really fast,
Yeah,
in and out.
ain't nobody expect you to be me, so.
And
I'm
nobody
beefing with them,
expecting it to be you. Is that what
right?
you said?
I wasn't beefing with them.
And that's true. You didn't have a beef with Dolph, did you?
I ain't even know dog. I ain't even that. I ain't had no beef with nobody.
Never met him a day in your
I
life.
never met him a day in my life. I just wanted the money.
And we can call what y'all did here whatever we want to call it, but you're not a professional hitman or anything, are you?
Nah, I ain't none of it.
But y'all got offered money
Yeah,
by somebody more powerful than y'all.
yeah.
$40,000 is a lot of money to you.
At the time it was. It ain't. But at the time, you know, it was. You know, my condition, it was.
In 2021,
Yeah,
when you were on the streets, ecstasy, oxycodone, and your son had died some months before, $40,000 is a lot of money to you,
it was at the time.
even to do this bad thing.
Yeah, at the time it was.
After we go our separate ways, do you stay in touch? Do you and Justin stay in touch?
Well, I would hit him up or whatever, trying to see what my money was. You know what I'm saying? He was telling me, Juke said, too hot right now. He gonna get with us and all that, too hot. Then, I had, like, when they found the car, before they found the car, Quay had gave me some money to buy a car cover and cover the joint up.
Because this car, you're talking about the white Mercedes?
Yeah, the white Mercedes.
It's left in the driveway of Bradley, is that right?
Yeah, Justin had somebody push it back then. It was in the back then.
Okay, so it went from the driveway of Bradley
To the backyard.
to the backyard of Bradley,
Yeah,
but it was still just sitting there.
yeah. So Quay gave me some money to buy a car cover the joint up. Same day they found it.
Had up to that point, other than it being pushed in the back, first of all, did you push it in the back or somebody else?
Now somebody else pushed it in the back.
Did you go back to the car at all?
Yeah, I went back, wiped it out, called myself wiped me down.
Cleaning it.
He cleaned.
So you were worried that maybe you left evidence in there.
Yeah, I worried, but I know I opened the door with no gloves on.
And when you cleaned it off, was it daytime or
It
nighttime?
was nighttime.
So your nighttime on Bradley,
He
cleaning out this
shot it
Mercedes.
and everything. Yup, shot it
You
in.
been shot in the shoulder.
Yeah.
When you cleaned it down, was it still in the driveway or was it in the
Nah,
back?
it was in the backyard when I cleaned it down.
So it had already been pushed to the back.
Yeah.
Did you take anything out of the car?
Nah, I ain't taking it.
Wiped it down and left.
Yeah, wipe down left.
You were describing staying in touch with Justin, is that right?
Yeah.
To your knowledge, was he still in town or out of town?
My knowledge, he was here.
And you had mentioned the money, is that correct?
Yeah.
And he had told you that Joke said it was too hot right now.
Yeah, it was too high right now.
But were you still interested in your money?
Yeah, I just wanted my money. I did the job, I just wanted my money.
Now, could you have gone to Joke and tried to get your money?
Nah.
Did you know him at all?
I had met with him, but you know, I ain't have no number on him.
How many times had you met with Joe?
Just one time he quit house.
At Quet's house?
He quit house.
And when did that happen? Before or after Dolph was killed?
It was before.
When that happened, was there conversation about these hits on the PRD rappers?
Yeah, really quick with doing all the talking, like, you know, just telling who out here pray, how much everybody had on their head and stuff like that. And Juke just like agreeing, like, you know what I'm saying? He made her take our phone outside first before we started doing any talking.
Who all was there for this meeting at Quet's house?
It was just me quitting Juke.
You, Quet, and Joe.
He really wanted me. I had pulled up about some XP. Juke was already in there.
Gotcha.
And Quit had started talking, you know what I'm saying, like, you see right here, and Juke like, hold up, the phone outside. So he said, that phone outside.
They came back in?
Yeah, now, Quit took the phones outside in the church. Me and Juke was already in hell, but Quit came back in and started talking.
At that time when you met with Jook, is that the first time that anybody's talked about money on Dolph's head?
Now, the first time, it was just Quit last year.
So this had come up before with Quet,
Yeah,
and then comes up again with Quet and with Jook.
right.
When did you, in that timeline, so first just Quet, next Quet and Jook.
Right.
When did you met Justin in that timeline?
Ooh, you were like right around the same time, you know what I'm saying?
As the first time when it was just Quet, or the second time when it was Quet and Jook?
Like in between the first and the second time, I had like Quit had put me and Justin together basically.
Okay.
That's how I met him. Quit.
Jook's the money man calling the shots.
Yeah,
Quet puts you and Justin together.
right.
And you and Justin are cool with each other and interact with each other over the months. You said at least 5 times.
Yeah, something.
You're trying to, now we're back after the murder, you're trying to get your money.
Right.
You're having conversations with Justin, is that correct?
Yeah, I was taking the phone like, you know what I'm saying? I need their money for the party, you know what I'm saying?
Are there times that you're trying to communicate with Justin and in fact you're communicating with somebody else?
I ain't know it, you know what I'm saying? It's time I ain't know.
Okay. Did you come to find out that Jamarcus Johnson had Justin's phone after the murder?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I found that out. I got locked up.
When you were communicating with Justin, okay, these times when Jamarcus had his phone and doing 3-way stuff or whatever, what was the substance of those conversations?
Well, first time I was on the way back from Atlanta, and he said he had got a little package from his homeboy, so we could have some money in our pocket or whatever. And I would come back from Atlanta, so I like, I like 2 hours out. So I like, man, I don't want him to just put it in the mailbox. But he said he had a letter with it too. And I know it'd be too many folks in my dad's neighborhood still here to be seeing what put in the mailbox and go back. So I told him to give it to the lady next door who like a grandma figure to me or whatever. And he gave her $500 in a letter.
$500 in a letter.
Yeah.
And obviously you're supposed to get $40,000,
Right.
but you got $500 in a letter.
You saying right here, yeah.
And what was the substance of the letter?
Saying that Juke said that if we get caught up, he gonna make sure we had the best lawyers and all that old stuff is hot right now.
And this first payment is when you get back from Atlanta.
Yeah.
How did you got into Atlanta?
Me and my girl had went out there after after they found the cop. We had went on out there.
Okay, get scarce.
Yeah, I got scared. I got on them.
Did y'all drive out there?
We drove out there.
Stay in a hotel?
Yeah, stayed in the hotel.
About how long were you gone?
I was gone a couple days. I ain't had any more money on me.
Run out of money, you gotta come back.
Yeah, I gotta come back.
And you come back, do you pick up that money from the old woman?
Yeah, I picked up the money from her, and I saw how much it was. I'm like, hell, you know what I'm saying? Like, $500.
You could spend that on pills in one day, I bet.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, I can bet it.
What'd you do with the letter?
I flushed down the toilet at the hotel room.
All right, is that the only time you got any money from Justin?
Nah, a couple days later, I was in the city or whatever, and he was saying that he was gonna have his folks pull up on me, bring me some money or whatever, hold me down. So I think he been pulled up about 20,000-30,000 leave, you know what I'm saying? But I had my girl to get out the car, and she met the person that was driving on the street or whatever. I had her to have her face mask on, and she said they had their face masks on, so we don't know who it was, but they gave her $300.
$300.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Justin's folks.
Yeah, this was just before.
All right, so now we've been paid about $800.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is there any other payment coming?
Nah, all the payments stopped, man.
All the payments.
Everything stopped.
Is there any time that you or your girlfriend or anybody received a large payment?
Nah.
How much longer passes until you're arrested about?
Probably about a week after I had saw that when I saw Quick. He was telling me that we had to meet up at the restaurant or whatever, get up with you, get my money or whatever.
All right, so tell me about this again. I'm sorry.
I was in 7 to give me some pills,
South Memphis, okay.
and I ran into Quick. He was going one way, I was going the opposite way, and he blew the horn, and I pulled on over to the side because Bobby had OD. So I would give him my condolences and stuff too.
We had talked earlier about this guy. You hung out on Bradley Street a lot,
Yeah,
and so did another guy named Bobby Carter, is that
Yeah.
right? And he was a friend to you,
yeah, that was my associate.
and he was a friend or maybe even a relative to Mr.
Well,
Govan,
Yeah,
and he had actually died of a drug overdose.
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. So you're talking with Mr.
So
Govan.
I was giving my condolences because, they said they were like brothers. So I was giving my condolences about Bobby ODing or whatever. And he was like, man, he gonna get my money. He gonna get my money. He like, when last time I spoke to Justin? I like, man, it's been a minute. And he was like, police had just ran in Justin's spot or whatever, and I need to get rid of my phone and all that. And he asked me for a number on me so he could get with me.
And that is how we started your testimony, right? We started with this conversation the day before so that you were arrested, is that right? So we've come full circle on that. I have some still shots and photographs I want to pass to you. Ask you what's in here, Mr. Smith. Council signature on it. What am I looking at there, Mr. Smith?
Photo of me and Justin
And you,
shooting it dope.
all right, you place that face down on that table next to you.
Photo of me and Justin running away from the shooting after we got done shooting it up.
Running back to that white Mercedes.
Running back to the car.
You can place that down on top of that.
Photo of me and Justin in Whitehaven, going to get cleaned up after the shooting.
Part of that video we watched.
Yeah,
And are you the one with the messed up shirt?
yeah, I got my shirt up. I got my hoodie up, my blue hoodie up. And I got one of my arm, his arm, hanging, leaning down like this because I'm shot.
Put that face down.
It's the house on Bradley where we parked the car across the street from the courthouse.
You place that down.
The car we was in when we saw Dolph and them, and when we did the killing.
And is that when it's in the back of Bradley?
Yeah, this where it was at when I went and wiped it down in the backyard of Bradley Street.
You place that face down. Now this house that was across the street from Quet's, had there been a rap video filmed there?
Yeah, Justin had shot a rap video there.
Justin shot a rap video actually in front of that house.
Yeah, in front of the house.
Now, were you actually in the rap video?
Yeah, I was in that video. Just I was money up at the house in the video.
All right, you place that down. I'm sorry.
Just on the elevator.
So wearing the same outfit as he was during the shooting?
Yeah, sidebar.
You could place that face down.
Just on the elevator.
You could place that face down.
Just rolling up the road.
Loading up to roll.
Yeah, rolling
He's got his
up the road.
luggage and he's ready to
You
get out.
got his money, you got everything.
Find this photograph.
That be just,
And to your knowledge, is Big Joke now deceased?
yeah, he can see.
All right, I have those marked as X numbered exhibits.
Okay.
First picture is a picture of the defendant Lucas shooting at Adolph. We'll mark that as exhibit number 6. Next picture is the witness in whom he is identified as defendant running away from the scene. Exhibit number 7. The next photo is a picture of 3 people with the white expedition parked outside of what appears to be a apartment complex. We'll mark this as exhibit number 8. The next photo is a picture of a house, front yard, driveway to the left of the house with people in the backyard. We'll mark this as exhibit number 9. Next picture is a picture of a white Mercedes. We'll mark this as exhibit number 10. The next picture is a picture of whom's been described as the defendant, Justin Johnson, with an orange baseball cap on, holding a couple of wads of money. We'll mark this as exhibit 11. The next picture is who the witness has described as Justin Johnson standing in the elevator. Mark this as exhibit number 12. The next picture is a picture of who the witness has described as Justin Johnson standing in the elevator with the black gym shoes on, with the white thing on top, with gray sweatpants on, and a dark colored hoodie and the black cap. We'll mark this as exhibit number 13. The next picture is what the witness has described as Justin Johnson in his yellow sweatshirt standing on the outside of the elevator with packed luggage. We'll mark this as exhibit number 14. And the next picture is a picture of a gentleman with bald head, hoodie on, with on front of the hoodie is marked CMG, and that's been described as Big Joke by the witness. Mark that as exhibit number 15.
Permission to publish these as I ask him some questions, Your Honor. We're going to order for the record, start with 6. clicker is very difficult to use. Right here first is this
That's me.
Gap sweatshirt, Draco,
Yeah, great thing.
gloves,
Uh,
got those Nikes on.
yeah. Orange and white night.
Black sweatshirt, gloves. What kind of hat is it?
A Bass Pro.
That's Justin.
Yeah, just
And you understand, or do you understand, as you identify these pictures, not only are you saying that Justin's guilty of murder
like I'm
on the
guilty.
contract hit, but you're saying you're guilty too.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
Run back to the car. Who's that?
That's me. That just
Have 2 lane apartments.
yeah. That's me. Doctor. It just
And the third person?
yes, it could. That's the house on Brad.
House on Bradley.
Park Kai.
Driveway for the house.
Yeah, that's the driveway.
You used to hang out with Bradley every day.
Just about.
Orange Mound,
Yeah,
close to where y'all killed off.
yeah.
Now, where does the car end up?
It went from the front to the backyard.
See these people walking?
Yeah,
Does the car end up way back here?
yeah, way back up.
Is that where it was when you wiped it down?
Yeah, that's where it was.
In the car?
It is the car.
Now, had you ever seen Justin in that car before?
I ain't never saw him in the car.
Do you know how he got the car?
I don't know.
Do you know when he got the car?
I don't know. It just
Is this from that music video?
yeah, it's from the video.
Now, is that music video filmed a few weeks before this murder?
Yeah,
And you said you were actually in the video too, is that right?
yeah,
You wearing a mask in the video?
yeah. I had on mad.
This house here, right here,
Yeah, that's on Bradley Street.
is that the same house?
Yeah, that's the same house.
Is that that driveway we were just looking at?